Hello, you're on time for New Vision TV News. I am Ruth Naseje. Temperatures are rising as Kenya heads to the polls on August 8th. Recent opinion polls have put the two leading candidates, Uhuru Kenyatta of Jubilee Alliance and Raila Odinga of NASA Alliance, neck to neck. A court petition to block the tender for printing of ballot papers was dismissed on Thursday afternoon. Odinga had accused President Uhuru Kenyatta of influencing the award of tender and sought nullification of the tender, which would affect the voting process. Now, New Vision TV gives you an analysis on what might affect the voting patterns and who is likely to.
The general elections are scheduled for Tuesday, August the 18th, 2017. On this day, Kenyans will elect a president, his deputy and members of parliament, as well as county governors and ward representatives. The Kenyan constitution requires there be a general election on the second Tuesday in August in every 5th year. There have been public discussions to move the date from August to December, arguing that most ministries do not have money in this period and a possible runoff may interfere with examinations in October. However, the country has maintained that constitutional provision to hold the elections. A presidential candidate requires 50% plus 1 to be declared winner. Wanga Wanyama, a political analyst who has been following the Kenya elections, gives us an insight.
Any of the two leading candidates can be president, depending on who mobilizes the best. I did a crude calculation based on the voter register of today and the turn-up of 2013. And in my projections, Uhuru was coming close to 90% of the vote, and Raila was coming to close to 46% of the vote. That is a very, very, very close shave. And consider that this time round, Raila added somebody to his coalition, the guy called Isaac Ruto, the governor of Bomet. So if he comes with some votes, which they hope he will, then you are looking at a 50-50 election. If it's that close, you're looking at a 50-50 election because Bomet is about 3,000 registered voters. If there's a significant swing, even of 200,000 votes toward the Raila side, then you're looking at a tie. The election will not necessarily be a tie, but the voter turnout is going to tip the election in one direction or the other.
For the second time, Kenyatta is facing Raila Odinga after a stiff competition out of which Kenyatta was winner. However, he had a narrow win and political analysts say this time it is too close to call.
Raila Odinga has a coalition of about 4 teams. Okay, you can add a 5th, that is Isaac Ruto. He has got a coalition of the Nyanza, that is the Onibes, that is the Jaluo. And then you have got a coalition from Western Kenya, where he has had actually to pick 2 people to put on his team. That is Moses Wetangula, who brings on Bungoma, the Vokusu community, and Musalia Mudavadi, who ran as an independent the other time and got 4% of the vote, but brings with him his county of Vihiga and the neighboring county of Bungoma. So the Western population, the Western Kenya, what they call the Luya community, is also solidly behind Raila. Then what did Raila do? He got a vice president who he ran with the other time, who is a Kamba from Eastern Province. So he hopes the Kamba can galvanize and vote again for him because he has got the vice president. His other stronghold is the coast. The coast somehow votes with the opposition because the Mombasa governor Al-Hassan Joho is a very good Raila ally, but also the coast has got a big Jaluo population who are Raila's strong mates, tribes mates. So they add on to that other smaller tribes, like what they call the South Rift. That is the Maasai. The Maasai do not vote with the rest of the Kalenjin. So that is the opposition stronghold. And then, of course, every community is in Nairobi, so everybody is fighting for the Nairobi vote.
Opinion polls have put the two candidates close to each other, and although Kenyatta has been leading with 47% against Odinga's 43%, reports indicate that Odinga is edging in and might be leading by close of today. However, as these two dominate the election, other candidates vying for the same seat are left with no impact added to the election, as Wanyama explains.
Because most of them come from communities which already have candidates. In the last election, Musalia Mudavadi got 4% of the vote, and he got that 4% in just 3 counties: Vihiga, Kakamega, a little bit of Ngoma, and 1% of the vote in Nairobi. And yet, he was a Luhya leader. This time around, expect the combined votes of those other candidates to be less than 1%. They will be insignificant.
Now that Kenyans await who will become president in the few weeks remaining, worthy noting is that Kenyans will not wait for the Electoral Commission to know who won in a given constituency. Results will be announced there.
The opposition, or rather it was NGOs, filed an election petition saying that results as announced at the constituency level, Kenya has got 210 constituencies, that results as announced at constituency level cannot be altered, which means this business of wiring results to Nairobi, to the National Tally Center, is meaningless. So all results will be declared at constituency level. So I don't know the way you look at it, it might make rigging much more difficult, because a candidate is easier to monitor the tally at the constituency level. That court ruling was upheld by the Court of Appeal, and the IEBC did not appeal. So that is the status quo. Instead of having one election where you have the chairman of the Electoral Commission announcing the final results, you are basically having 210 elections. The 210 returning officers will each announce the result of the presidential tally, and anybody can add for himself. So the issue of the Electoral Commission was reduced.
All is left for Kenyatta and Odinga is to maintain their strongholds and mobilization strategies to have a good turn-up at the polling station.
You're still watching New Vision TV, and in our daily Pearl of Africa series, we take a look at the elephant. The elephant is the largest animal, weighing between 4,000 kilograms and 7,000 kilograms. The animal is not only heavy, but also very strong because it can break trees, fight off its enemies using its tusks. Today, we understand this creature. Modesty is how an elephant moves, slowly but very surely. But this is caused by their weight. A fully grown savanna elephant in Uganda weighs about 4,000 kilograms to 12,000 kilograms. These elephants found in Kidepo National Park are not fully grown elephants, though they still can't be considered young. In the national park, they move in groups as the young ones are protected by the elder ones. A young elephant is known as a calf, a female elephant is known as a cow, and a male is known as a bull. The elephants feed on grass or vegetables. The color of this animal's skin differs according to where you find them. Some will appear gray, others green, and some brown. If you love traveling, elephants like these can be found in parks such as Murchison Falls National Park, Queen Elizabeth National Park, and also at the Uganda Wildlife Education Center. And that's all we had for you. Thank you for watching. Be sure to catch more of your news updates on your mobile phone, on your desktop, on your tablet, and anywhere on the go by visiting our website www.newvision.co.ug. I am Ruth Naseje.